As I've said a multitude of times at this point, there are a hell of a lot of things you could rightfully criticize Elden Ring for, like its terrible online system that required you to restart the game in order to switch between online mode and offline mode in 2022, its terrible settings menus on PC, and a few other things. But just like Quantum TV's tragically bad Elden Ring review that he ended up deleting, which I responded to, spiraling out of control to the point of him being exposed as a total bigot and copyright abuser, the video we will be looking at today is very similar to Quantum TV's original Elden Ring review in the sense it's a joke of a review, and I mean a complete joke. There is basically no redeeming qualities about this review. It solely tries to claim Elden Ring is pure trash thanks to the fact NPCs don't just allow you to kill them. I wish I could say I was joking, but that is unironically this guy's reasoning as to why the game quote unquote sucks. NPCs don't just bend over and take whatever you do to them. So without further delay, I'll let the video play.
So I'm returning this utter crap.
What is it with people making negative Elden Ring reviews and having shitty audio? Not only can I hear his background noise almost equal to him speaking, but he's also barely audible in my right ear, whilst at the same time being significantly louder in my left ear. It is not at all hard to fix your fucking audio. In fact, it is beyond easy. All you have to do is go into the effects panel on any editing software and head to the audio section, where you'll typically find a setting to resolve this exact problem. For me, I use Hit Film, which calls this effect balance. I believe in Premiere it's something along the lines of fill. Literally, the only thing you need to do to fix this annoying problem is either set your microphone up properly in the first place, or drop an audio effect onto your audio timeline. I will never understand why so many channels find it so difficult to do such basic things.
Because this game is terrible. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I was going to do a video on it. This is it. This is the video. It's going to be a quick upload. It's terrible. I got all the way through that beginning of the game. It was very bland. So I get to that guy with the mask.
It's always a great sign when watching an Elden Ring review when someone refers to the tutorial zone, which merely leads to the opening area of the game, aka Limgrave, as the beginning of the game. You know, if you actually played a decent portion of Elden Ring, which you should have done to make a review, you would have known that what you just talked about is merely the tutorial zone, not the opening of the game like you so stupidly claim. The opening of the game stops once you leave Limgrave. I don't at all believe it's a stretch to say you should probably play enough of the game to actually leave the opening area before making a review for it.
I accidentally attack him, he kills me. Okay. I respawn right in front of him, he kills me. Respawn, he kills me. Respawn, finally get away. See this big thing, horse minotaur looking thing, kills me one hit.
Just get good. Although in all seriousness, how the fuck do you quote unquote accidentally attack the first NPC you meet? That isn't easy to do, especially when he's one of the most famous NPCs right now because he spawned the Maidenless meme. Also, here's an awesome idea when it comes to surviving against the Tree Sentinel. Just walk away. It is literally that simple. The Tree Sentinel is not very fast at all, and even still the game is open world. You can just walk around him. He is a world boss. Nothing is stopping you from walking around where he roams, because he has a specific roaming path, which anyone should be able to see simply by looking at him. The same applies to every single world boss you can fight in Elden Ring. They all have a specific roaming pattern that you can easily use to avoid fighting them. Calling the entire game trash because you blatantly refuse to use your brain for a split second to walk around the area of a boss to avoid the fight is wildly moronic, to say the very least.
Alright, I respawn right in front of the guy who kills me. I'm like, how is this fun?
Well, you see, normal people don't just randomly decide to attack the first NPC they meet in the game, especially one that everyone knows is an integral NPC because he spawned the Maidenless meme. And don't even try to claim you don't know what that is. Everyone does, even people who haven't played Elden Ring. Now explain to me the thought process of this. He's attacked an NPC and is surprised when it fights back. Something in it of itself would be understandable, but then he's decided to call the entire game trash trash over the fact he couldn't kill an NPC and a boss, both of which are not meant to be easy to kill. The NPC who calls you maidenless isn't meant to be easy to kill. After all, he gives you the direction to the main storyline quest. The Tree Sentinel is specifically designed to kick your ass early on, so you know what the rest of the game is like. For anyone confused, the rest of the game is a Souls-like. I know, how shocking. A studio which quite literally only makes one type of game made yet another game of that genre.
How is this fun? And there's supposed to be a lock-on system, but my guy decides to just start swinging wildly. I point the camera back at him, it gives me a light lock-on, and he starts swinging wildly. I'm like, the guy moves, and I'm still swinging wildly.
Holy shit, I just want to see one person review this game negatively without causing me to lose millions of brain cells due to the sheer stupidity of what they're saying. Motherfucker, if you do not know the binding of a button for the control you want to use in a video game, then just like in every other video game, go into the settings and look for it. Lock on is set to R3. How goddamn incompetent do you have to be to claim a game sucks because you couldn't read the fucking key bindings page in the settings to figure out how to lock onto enemies? The reason you are swinging wildly is because the attacks are directly linked to where your camera is facing. If you're not facing where you want to attack, then no shit Sherlock, you will not hit your target. Just like in every single video game in existence, outside of Rockstar titles which literally give you aimbot by default. So like in 99% of video games ever created, you are swinging wildly because you are failing to do the most basic aspect of any video game, aiming at your target.
I'm like, how is... I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you gotta do this. Oh, these games are not enjoyable.
Unsurprisingly, he's one of those people. He'll happily call the Elden Ring community toxic, but as soon as anyone tries to help him, he'll cry about it. Because for some unknown reason, everyone criticizing this game takes any form of someone trying to help them as a personal attack. Bro's a grown-ass man mocking people in his video like a kindergartner does on the playground, because someone told him he was doing something wrong, when he was. Grow the fuck up. The game doesn't suck. You just suck at it, and somehow didn't know how to lock onto enemies even though it's easily accessible information, and for some unknown reason refused to just walk around enemies, resulting in you repeatedly getting your ass handed to you. He also claimed earlier he's played other Souls-like titles, but I highly doubt he has, since it's very common for you to have to avoid enemies in these types of games. What is it with these channels negatively reviewing the game and not understanding the most basic things to do with them?
Yes, I get there are people out there that like it. But hey, I'm not the only one. You can take a look at a lot of channels. There's a lot of people that don't like this.
Yes, and there are a lot of people who don't like Minecraft. That isn't a real argument. It's like saying because a lot of people don't like Red Dead Redemption 2's campaign, then it's bad. It's an argument of which makes zero sense. If you had legitimate reasoning behind not liking the game, not a single soul would care about your review. But the simple fact is that you don't have good points in this. Your review is littered with not only logical fallacies, but just plain out bullshit. The majority of your review has so far clutched onto nothing but pure idiocy, trying to claim the game is bad because you couldn't figure out using R3 is how you lock onto enemies and couldn't form the simple thought of running away from enemies is, as I said earlier, an incredibly brain-dead reasoning behind negatively reviewing a video game.
And this game is not a 10 out of 10, nowhere near, even if it ends wildest dreams. This is one of the most wretched things in terms of accessibility and gameplay, and just, yeah, I'm gonna get hate. I get it. I get there are Souls fanboys out there. I get it.
Unfortunately for you, your review is so piss poor I found it, and I'm someone who told people not to buy it due to performance issues I encountered at the time of my review. Those frame time stuttering issues have been reduced by the latest patch, although not entirely gone. I love to be the one to tell you, but you're not just going to get quote unquote hate from fanboys. Your review is flat out terrible, and so you're going to get criticism from pretty much everyone, other than the equally moronic in comparison comparison to fanboys, blind haters of the game. Saying an entire game is terrible whilst you didn't even make it outside of the opening area is unmatchable levels of disingenuous behavior. However, I will agree on one thing, and only one thing here, in regards to the missing accessibility options. I want to make it abundantly clear. I am not talking about the typical bullshit idea you hear from anti-Souls-like journalists when it comes to the lack of difficulty options. I am talking about the lack of basic features like colorblind modes. Those are things which shouldn't be missing from the game. They're basic features found in pretty much every AAA title.
You know, put all your garbage in the comments. I know you will. It's what you'll do. This is not a good game. It is not a 10 out of 10. No way is it anywhere near Game of the Year. Not even if it wanted to. I can't wait for Gran Turismo. This will actually throwing this out.
I can't describe how flat out hilarious the fact he claimed Gran Turismo 7 of all things would kill Elden Ring. Not only are they not in any even remotely similar genre, but one's a microtransaction riddled pile of shit compared to one of the most consumer friendly games available at the moment in comparison to other AAA developers. Even if we just looked at GT7's trailers, the game looked atrocious pre-launch, and oh boy, post-launch the game is the absolute epitome of disgusting business practices, charging £160 for a single car in the game, whilst at the same time decreasing how many credits can be earned in-game in a patch which knocked Gran Turismo 7 offline for 30 hours straight, making it impossible for anyone to play it during those hours. But hey guys, I'm sure his prediction was correct. GT7 definitely killed Elden Ring.
Actually, thank you GameStop for having that 48-hour like it or whatnot. Love it. Bring it back. I get full return credit. And I will, because this game can go in the trash. That's how I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be kind, even though no thank you.
Just take a look at his gameplay in the bottom left corner of his video. You can see this guy is just terrible at the game. He is genuinely just bad. He for one isn't even trying to dodge the attacks from the tree sentinel, and for another is for some reason refusing to simply look at the enemy he's fighting. If there's one person who should not be criticizing Elden Ring, it's sure as hell this guy. Now we have thankfully come to the end of his tragically terrible review of Elden Ring, which means we have also come to the end of my video. So with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Discord server, Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe. So I'll see you all in the next video.